In this video, I'm going to show you how I like to seal up the gaps and cracks that might exist around your house. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that I like to use depending on the situation that you have, and I'm going to make it real easy for you. This is Rudy from the Home Improvement channel with another video showing you how to fix things around the house. If you're a subscribed member to my community, then welcome back. If you're new to this channel, consider clicking that subscribe button below, and please like this video if you found it helpful for you. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive right in. Alright, so once a year you should probably walk around your house and do a visual inspection to see if there's any gaps or cracks or holes or anything like that that's going on, cracked caulk, whatever. At the entry points where your HVAC goes through, where any pipes might go through, any cables, anything like that, whatever it may be, wherever there's an entry point, you'll want to inspect that. Obviously, this one here hasn't been sealed yet, but if you have an old sealant on here, you need to get that off first. You can take a chisel and kind of go like this and kind of cut it, around, and slowly scrape all that off of there. You can take a razor blade and do the same thing with that, whatever you need to do. But what you need to be cautious of is any kind of wires. If you're scraping with anything sharp, you don't want to gouge up those wires, so be careful with that. Once you've got everything cleaned up, this is a pretty good size hole right here. It's probably a 1/4 inch gap around that. So what I would like to do is run a bead of caulk around that. All right, now this is Lexel. This is a very elastic sealant. I like to use this because it can give, with the changes of temperature and weather, it's got a lot of elasticity. There's also some other good brands like GE. Here's a good one right here that I like to use. Stuff like that is a silicone caulk. This one is not a silicone, so this one can be painted, but I like it for the elasticity. So I'm going to start off with caulk to go around this. All right, it doesn't have to be gorgeous, but the goal is to seal it. Get it all the way around the best you can, because otherwise, what good is it going to do if you leave a big gaping hole in the bottom or wherever it's hard to get to, okay? So I'm going to let that dry a few minutes. All right, I have another pipe point right here. The gap around this one is pretty consistent. It's a very nice gap. This one shouldn't be any trouble. Just do the same thing here. And by the way, this isn't the final look. I'm just doing this first. I'll show you the final look here in a minute of what I like to do after I caulk, just to make it look a little bit better. All right, so that one's pretty good all the way around. And I'm going to do the same thing to this wire. Now this probably will be the final look on the wire because it's small. So just get that all the way around. And you can kind of wiggle the wire around to see if you've missed any spots. And that looks pretty good. All right, so what do I do here with this big gaping hole that's around this pipe? This doesn't look very good. It's a huge hole. You can fit an army of mice through there. So what I would do, I don't like to use spray foam on anything outdoor. It doesn't look very good. It doesn't age well. It turns this nasty yellow looking color that just looks like something else that I don't want to mention on here. But I'm going to use it on the inside where the wall is, and then I'm going to go around it later. But just kind of carefully add without overdoing it and getting it all over the siding here. Just add just enough to kind of fill the cavity there. Trying not to get it all over the siding because it's hard to get off. And just kind of go just about like that and just leave it to dry, okay? You don't want to mess with that because it'll wind up getting all over the place. So we're just going to leave that, and I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, so it's been about a half an hour, 45 minutes. As you can see, the foam has done its stuff and has expanded all through there and has sealed that up very nicely. Now, you could leave it like that if you wanted to and just call it done, but I don't really like the way that looks. I'm going to take a oscillating tool and cut the excess off. If you have a little razor or saw, that works very well too. All right, so that's pretty flush now. Now what I like to do to make the final look is use this stuff right here called Duct Seal. This stuff is kind of like Play-Doh, but it's made for this. It's made to be outside, and it looks a lot better than that. So just kind of take it in your hand and treat it just like you would Play-Doh. Just roll it up, thin it out, put it on the ground and pretend it's a pizza. Once you get it rolled out, just press it in there. Kind of just like that. Try to make it as neat as you can. All right, so I'm going to do this to these other holes and we'll come back for a final look. There you go. That's the way I would do that. Very easy job, and it will save you some money and keep those critters out of your house. Thanks for watching.